Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kaustubha. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily yoga podcast with your host Raghunath and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kaustubha Das. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Welcome to show number 499. Today is 499. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah, we're on the precipice of the big
That's my
Friday
new word.
500.
I
Precipice?
said that twice this week, and you're now just saying it. Did you copy
Really?
it? You always say that word.
No, I didn't. I don't know if it came in subliminally or something, but
Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah, it's exciting.
What, you said it on the show, or you
He said
just
twice
said it?
on the show. Precipice.
Did he? You remember that, Mara?
Hey, I
Which
want me
is
to go
like
through
a
the reels.
Precipice?
I'm going to go through YouTube, prove it to you guys.
Maybe it was in Sweet Baby Krishna or something. I don't
Maybe.
remember. Any case, I give you the credit.
It's okay. You can keep precipice.
Mm-hmm.
I got a really nice letter yesterday. Can I read it?
Who's it from?
It's from Vayu Das. He's from New South Wales.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
Where's he from? South
New
Wales?
South Wales is Australia. It's like I think it's a
Okay.
state in Australia.
Anyone
goes.
Confirm that? Trap Down Under?
Yeah.
It's
Mara's on it. She'll figure it out.
Aliana's on it. You got it. Okay.
Dear Wisdom of the Sages family, I've been a practicing devotee for 40 years. Sounds good so far. 3 years into my adventure, my guru stopped being a guru. That's a downer. I had 6 children and moved away from the city for a better life for them. That's noble. Struggling to keep it all together with business, disenchanted partner, and lots of travel to the city where my business was a big distraction to my sadhana. Although I chanted regularly, but minimally, and hung on by the skin of my teeth, my sister Karunika and her husband Dineshwar were my anchors.
Okay, I've heard of Karuna. I believe I've met Karunika before in Vrindavan. Yeah.
Divorced 12 years now. My sadhana is revitalized and regular. However, I missed out on being guided and taught by qualified teachers. And guess what? Kaustubha, Raghunath, and Mara have brought my devotional aspirations to a new level. I can't go a day without a class. Moreover, you are fulfilling Lord Chaitanya's prophecy. There was a prophecy, by the way, of Lord Chaitanya, that this philosophy will be heard in every town and village. Literally. Prabhupada has blessed your doings with this success. Please let me be of servant. Vayu Das.
That's sweet.
That
Thank
was
you,
sweet.
Vayu,
He
for
actually
sharing
never
that.
misses a show. We've been getting letters from him forever.
Yeah. We'll be hearing more tomorrow, right?
Yeah, people are going to write in there. So, by the way, we're not trying to milk compliments out of people for the 500, Friday 500. We really want to hear how the Bhagavatam has affected your life and your day to day and your, and Zoomers, get ready to be called out. We might just put the spotlight on you. Even if you're shy, it's good to share. Unless, of course, they say, well, it hasn't changed me at all. I don't even know why I'm here.
Well,
I just like
that's the case,
hardcore.
and-
I like Youth of Today, and I'm here to see if you say anything about the band.
We're still waiting.
Uh,
Are we gonna go a little overtime tomorrow? Maybe I think maybe we might have to stretch it a little, right?
let's go a
We're
little
gonna hear from a lot of
overtime.
people because I think we should read some of the things that people have written in. They've written in lots of things. We can't read them all, but we
Let's
can
go
read
back
some.
and forth, like live,
Yeah,
overtime,
back
live,
exactly.
overtime.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So is it too late for someone to write something in?
No, not too late.
Okay, if the
gonna
Bhagavatam has changed your life, write to wisdomofthesages108@gmail.com. Put
Friday
Friday
500.
500 in the subject line, and then we're going to try to read as much as we can tomorrow. There's going to be
Okay.
no dally-gagging around by me. We're going to keep this thing focused and serious.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty. You
have
want a
any
nug?
special nuggets today? Well, if I don't just want one if like it's not a good one. The way that you said that
I don't
didn't
give
inspire
not good
confidence.
nuggets, sir.
Well, honestly, some are more mediocre and some are more deep. I'm gonna just occasionally get a nugget like,
Are you
okay,
hearing what he's
that
saying?
wasn't the most profound thing I've ever heard. So if you got a good
Criticizing the
nugget-
Vaishnavs nuggets.
not criticizing, but just categorizing. That's all.
How about this one? I like this one, and it's not cheap.
Who's it from?
Chintzy. I don't know.
Yeah, you see, I get
Stolen from Instagram. I don't know where I got it from.
All right.
I'm 100% responsible for creating my experience.
All right. Yeah, I mean, okay.
I'm 100% responsible for creating my experience.
Yeah. In other words, recognizing karma. I'm not going to complain about the circumstance that I'm in, but I'll accept
Filters I'm
it's my
putting
own
on
decisions.
the filters I'm putting on my whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taking responsibility for your emotions. This is all well and good. But you really need the Bhagavatam to back all this stuff up. If the soul's not eternal, I'm depressed. I'm going to be depressed. You really need the concept of eternality of the soul for all this stuff to even make sense.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
All right. Kaustubha didn't like that one either. I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think it, if our nuggets just become like an Instagram, feed. That that's the thing. It's like everybody's throwing out this stuff. It's got to be tied to something more, right? Otherwise, like all these nice sounding things, they don't necessarily have. I'm not saying what you just said doesn't. I accept what you just said, but. It has to be tied into something more substantial. If we're just accepting anything that sounds nice as authoritative.
You need a lifestyle. You need a lifestyle to support it.
There should be a lifestyle that goes with it too.
When I was younger and I wanted to be more spiritual, I bought a book of quotations, and I would just read quotations by Aristotle, Seneca,
Yeah.
Plato. And I felt like, well, what good is all this information? I want a lifestyle. I was happy to find out a sadhana, what a sadhana is, how to make it practical. I feel like it's developing your wisdom, not just like reading wise things won't make you wise. You have to figure out how to apply them to your life.
Oh, well, you know what you're saying, Raghu? Because we've been mentioning that tomorrow we've got a big announcement that has to do with the next phase of Wisdom of the Sages.
The unveiling.
Yeah, so we're keeping it secret for now.
It's the Mara Comedy Hour.
It's
our new next phase we're moving towards.
But it has to do with what you're saying. In other words, if I'm listening to Wisdom of the Sages, and I want to live it, well, we need some support for that, and that's a hint. That's as much as I'm going to say for now.
It sounds like
Tomorrow
you're
we'll
asking
unveil
for
it,
a donation.
Does it?
That's what it sounded
Support?
like to me.
No, I wasn't saying support.
We're
in that
unveiling
sense.
the
No,
fact that you guys need to give us money.
It's
no, not that.
Raghunath, the Atma Van Manya Teja God, okay?
That means, anyway. That
It means,
means
yeah, as
whatever
I
I'm
think, so the whole
thinking,
world
that
is thinking.
is
So, like, if you're
support.
thinking you need support, you're thinking that that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
that's
Right?
what
That's not
support
what I'm saying.
sometimes means.
What I'm saying is that we need support. Like, if we're hearing wisdom, but we want to live it, we want a lifestyle, we want a sadhana, but that needs support,
I
right?
need support. Yeah.
And so I think it's time that you and I began to think about how we can support people in their practice of bhakti more. And that's where we're going to go tomorrow with a big announcement.
Wouldn't it be great if the announcement was, we're all moving in together. Whatever you're doing, drop it. We are all
We got a
moving to the new
big
Govardhan
farm.
farm in Australia. It's lined with mango trees. There's plenty of fruit to pick, and we get to hang out with each other every day.
Yeah,
We
that
get to do
seems
this
what
all day
Vivi's
long.
looking. Vivi's asking about that on the chat board. Is that what's happening?
It's a
We're all
smart
moving
idea.
in commune together.
Let's do it.
Yeah. That'd
Okay.
be cool.
Ready? Take a big inhale.
I'm ready.
Exhale.
Oh, he's trying to do a little yoga thing.
Chill it
Okay.
out first. Narayanam
Do it one time.
namaskritya naram chaiva narotamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudire. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshva badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati utamashloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnanatamarandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance. My teachers are opening my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter
Chapter
16,
16.
text 18.
Is it 18 or 19 that we're on?
Well, we did 18
Yeah,
yesterday. So
We
we're
did
on
18. Yeah, we're on 19 today. So the four Kumars are speaking to Lord Vishnu had said all this stuff, right? Remember, the meter changed, the melody changed,
The
the
mood
music changed, the mood changed, and Lord Vishnu sang some beautiful verses to the four Kumars, which were like such humility was being. It was almost confusing to them. You know, the whole reason I'm worshipable is because I serve people like you. Lord Vishnu was saying like this, and like what? So now they're speaking. They're responding to that.
It's like Vishnu's like, I love you. You love me. I love you. And this just goes back and forth for the whole Bhagavatam,
But
pretty
that's
much.
kind of what's happening. Yeah, that's kind of what's
It is.
happening.
It's like a giant
saying-
love fest.
Yeah, they're saying no. You're the one that's that's truly worshipable, and the things that you're saying were just to help us understand how important it is to respect people with great qualities, right? Like say brahmanas, right? You're sharing all. You were saying that the only reason why you're worshipable is because you serve the brahmanas. You were saying that so that everyone will get the right message, because people need. Here's a fundamental truth about life and about society, that we have to honor people that embody good qualities, right? Don't try to level everything out. No, recognize where people have good qualities, because if we can recognize that, identify it, appreciate it, put a big red circle around it and say, this is what we should all be striving to be more like, well, then you have a society that's moving forward. And if you don't do that, you got a big mess. And you do the kind of things that like we're doing in this world, right? You destroy the earth. You fight with one another nonstop. You just disturb each other's minds nonstop. You have to follow people that really embody these good qualities. So that's kind of what's coming out here. They're saying the reason why you were praising us that way is because you're just trying to show, you're trying to show that principle. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, so text 19.
Text 19.
Mystics and transcendentalists, by the mercy of the Lord, cross beyond nescience by ceasing all material desires. It is not possible, therefore, that the Supreme Lord can be favored by others.
Yeah. So the way Vishnu expressed it, he said, could you all, he's saying to the four Kumars, I've offended, because my servants, the gatekeepers, didn't allow you through the gate. That's on me, right? That's my offense towards you. I've offended you. I'm ready to cut my own arm off if I've offended you, he was saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying the fact that you're cursing them, that's accepted here as nothing wrong with that. It's justified. But could you do me a favor, he's saying, right? He asked like that. I would consider it your favor upon me if you would allow them to come back soon, right?
Mm.
And now the four Kumars are saying, we don't do favors for you. It's like, we're not in a position to do favors for you. Everything that we have is your mercy. You do favors to us. So that's what. So they're saying mystics and transcendentalists, by your mercy, they cross over nescience. By ceasing all material activities. That you have the capability of granting anyone anything. So who are we to do favors to you? That's what they're saying. You want to read the commentary?
Sure. 19. Unless one is favored by the Supreme Lord, one cannot cross over the ocean of nescience, of repeated birth and death. Here it is stated that yogis or mystics cross beyond nescience by the mercy of the personality of Godhead. There are many kinds of mystics, such as karma yogis, jnana yogis, dhyana yogis, bhakti yogis.
Yeah,
The
those are the
karmis
four
partic-
paths. Four paths of yoga that people commonly refer to, right? Karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, which is another way of saying ashtanga yoga, or raja yoga, and bhakti yoga.
The karmis, excuse me, the karmis particularly search after the favor of the demigods. The jnanis want to become one with the supreme absolute truth, and the yogis are satisfied simply by partial vision of the supreme personality of Godhead, Paramatma, and ultimately by oneness with him. But the bhaktas, the devotees, want to associate with the supreme personality of Godhead eternally and serve him. It has already been admitted that the Lord is eternal, and those who want the favor of the Supreme Lord perpetually are also eternal. Therefore, yogis here means devotees. By the mercy of the Lord, devotees can easily pass beyond the nescience of birth and death and attain the eternal abode of the Lord. The Lord is therefore not in need of another's favor, because no one is equal to or greater than him. Actually, everyone needs the favor of the Lord for successful understanding of this human mission.
Okay. So four paths of yoga were identified: karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, and bhakti yoga. And then Prabhupada kind of laid out what each of those yogis aim for. But it's only the bhakti yogis that are aiming for pure devotional service, which is lived in the spiritual realm. So this verse, it talked about mystics and transcendentalists crossing beyond nescience, crossing beyond the material world by ceasing all material desires, right? They're not seeking favors of the demigods. They're not seeking even the oneness, or the relief. He said the Gyanis want to become one with the supreme absolute truth. Even that is seen as like a material desire, in the sense it's like related to my material suffering. I want my material suffering to cease. So what Prabhupada is saying,
Not us. We say bring it on.
Bring it on. What was it? Jumping into the fire?
Oh, yeah.
And
we're
so
not looking for peace.
We're not asking for peace.
looking for peace. Nah. Walking into the fire.
You got to work
I
on
was
that
singing
one.
that all day that day. We said that.
Yeah, you got to get together with Parmananda. Is he around?
Bust out a new shelter song.
Yeah, bust out a new shelter song. We're not looking for peace. So in any case, he's saying, so what this verse is speaking about is ultimately the Bhakti-yogis, right? And they achieve what they achieve by the mercy of Krishna. So they're the four Kumars again saying, we can't do favors for you. You do favors for us. That's the nature of the relationship. Anything that we could offer, you've already got. Okay.
Youth of today is having a practice rehearsal today in Hudson.
No kidding.
We're doing a show.
Because you're going to go play the punk rock bowling thing?
Yeah, we're playing punk rock bowling. Exactly.
When is that?
It's just like this
Do people actually bowl at that thing, or does that have to do with
know.
bowling? Or?
I don't even know. It's like a whole punk
I always
rock
heard that
thing.
punk rock.
It's like every band you could think of from California, mainly.
Is it like in a big bowling alley or something?
No, it's
Or
just
what
like
does that have to do with
a
bowling?
huge, like sort of many stage event, mini club event.
Okay.
I did it once before.
And there's no bowling involved that you
There
remember.
might be bowling. I don't participate. I just play
Okay.
my show and walk around, chant japa.
All right. Text 20.
Next 20. The goddess of
Hey, well,
fortune.
anyway, when you're in your rehearsal, bust out that idea, right? Imagine if, like, you
A Youth of Today song. It's a little
make it
faster.
Okay. Sing it faster. We're not looking for peace. Do it.
The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, the dust of whose feet is worn on the head by others, waits upon you as appointed, for she is anxious to secure a place in the abode of the king of bees. The Lord is the king of bees, who hovers on the fresh wreath of the tulsi leaves offered at your feet as some blessed devotee. Oh no, the Lord's not the king of bees. I misunderstood that. The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, the dust of whose lotus feet is worn on the head by others, waits upon you as appointed, for she is anxious to secure a place in the abode of the king of bees.
This the abode of the king of bees is the lotus feet of Krishna, right? Because the bees are hovering there because the tulsi is there and all of that.
Okay.
You got it?
Not really.
In other words,
Why
she's
wouldn't you say
saying,
the
where's
queen
where
of
do you
bees? Why wouldn't you say the queen of bees?
I don't
She
know
says the
why
king
I
of
said
bees.
king. That I don't know. But I'm saying is that abode that she's talking, where does that bee live? Where does it hover? It hovers at the lotus feet. That's where Lakshmi desires to be.
It's like so patriarchal, this whole thing.
Relax.
King of bees. Even when there is a queen, even when the queen is the leader, we're not going to give her any credit.
Well, maybe
Don't
someone needs to do a
mansplain this,
little research.
Kaustubha. Let's just keep
are
going.
There, I was saying, Mara, maybe you could check that up. Are there bee kings also? Maybe in some form, bumblebees maybe, You see, maybe there's in certain realms there's queens, and there may be kings also. So don't go seeing this through your social justice warrior glasses today. There could be explanations for this. Okay.
Oh Lord,
But
you
the
are
point
exceeding.
here, well, hold on. The point here is that earlier Vishnu said for Kumars that the only reason Lakshmi stays with me, right? The only reason why good fortune is with me, why the goddess Lakshmi is so always stays with me, is because I serve all of you too. She appreciates that quality. And so here they're saying it's not because you're serving us. It's because she naturally desires to stay at your lotus feet. That's what she's attracted to. Okay, text 21.
Text 21. Oh Lord, you are exceedingly attached to the activities of your pure devotees, yet you are never attached to the goddess of fortune, who constantly engage in your transcendental loving service.
The goddesses of fortune.
Oh, the goddess of fortune, who constantly engage in
The
your
goddess
transcendental
says.
loving. So there's many goddesses of fortune. How can you be purified, therefore, by the dust of the path traversed by the Brahmanas? And how can you be glorified or made fortunate by the mark of Srivatsa on your chest? How are these servants of yours making you more exalted? You are the exalted. You're the very source of everyone, right?
Yeah. It's so much so that you're not attracted to them in this. First of all, he said this. They said, the four Kumars said this interesting point. They said that Lord Vishnu is Parama Bhagavata Prasangaha. You're exceedingly attached to the activities of your pure devotees. Right? He's just like saying you're so kind to your devotees that you see yourself. Look at the way that you're speaking. It's like you're exceedingly attached to your devotees. You're somehow in your heart, your sentiment is moved in such a way that you're speaking like this to us. It's beautiful, beautiful feature. But he's saying that but that's not why Lakshmi is attached to you. As a matter of fact, thousands and thousands of Lakshmis, are worship you, But and most people want material things from them, but you're not even interested in any of those things. You're detached, Text 22 is an interesting one.
Right, let's
I think we can discuss this a bit. We can discuss a little Mahabharata when we discuss this point, I think.
Okay, all right.
Like
By the way, I did an interview with Chaitanya Charan yesterday for his podcast.
Oh, yeah. I'm very interested in hearing
was
that
really
interview.
good.
What was the subject?
I love him. He just wanted to know about me.
Incredible. Aw,
Yeah. He just
what do you
wanted
want
to
to know?
just me blabbing around, but it was good. I'll post it when it comes out.
You can't tell us the subject?
What did he want to know? We'll
Yeah.
unveil it tomorrow. The
Okay.
unveiling of Raghunath. No, he just asked
D-
about
does it does it come out tomorrow?
no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, um, just about my life and how I got into bhakti and how I think,
Okay.
where we went wrong in the bhakti over the years and where we went right, and
Oh,
you know,
okay. Very interesting.
yeah,
And so when will that be available?
I'm not sure. I should have asked him that,
Okay.
but I'll post it on my Instagram at Raghunath Yogi. By the way, people can always write me on Instagram. I try to write back. Sometimes if you know, with Instagram, if you don't respond to it, it's
It
just
gets
like
lost.
it gets buried under a million other messages. But
Yeah.
I try to write back. Oh Lord, you are the personification of Dharma. Therefore, you manifest yourself in 3 millenniums, and thus you protect this universe, which consists of animate and inanimate beings. By your grace, which is of pure goodness, and is the bestower of all blessings, kindly drive away the elements of rajas and tamas for the sake of the demigods and the twice born.
Yeah. Yeah, this wasn't actually the verse I was thinking about, but it's also a beautiful verse. The four Kumars are saying our reaction to not being allowed through the door, that was influenced by Rajas and Thomas. you know, we're not, even though we're floating around here near the gates of Vaikuntha, the fact that we got angry about this, right? What is Rajas? It means I want something that I can't have. So maybe we should have just been satisfied whether they let us through the gate or not, right? And what is Thomas? It's like that destructive energy. They had this position here, the gatekeepers, and we were set out to destroy that position. You know, so Prabhupada writes in the commentary, says the four Kumars were cognizant of their situation in the modes of passion and ignorance, because although in Vaikuntha they wanted to curse the devotees of the Lord, since they were conscious of their own weakness, they prayed to the Lord to remove their still existing passion and ignorance. The 3 transcendental qualifications, cleanliness, austerity, and mercy, are the qualifications of the twice born and the demigods. Those 3 right there, right? Cleanliness, austerity, and mercy. Those
Cleanliness,
who
austerity, and mercy.
Cleanliness, austerity, and mercy. We all got to work on those.
Yeah.
Those who are not situated in the quality of goodness, sattva, cannot accept these 3 principles of spiritual culture. We struggle with it, right? The more that we're associating with the sattva guna, the eating sattvic foods, hearing sattvic music, associating with sattvic people, spending time in sattvic places, then it'll become easier for us to embrace these principles of cleanliness, austerity, and mercy. It'll become more natural to us. Right?
All right.
All right.
Continue.
And here those are
continuing on.
identified as 3 transcendental qualifications.
Right. 23. O Lord, you are the protector of the highest of the twice born. If you do not protect them by offering worship and mild words, then certainly the auspicious path of worship will be rejected by people in general who act on the strength and authority of your lordship.
Okay, so this is the point that the 4 Kumars are making, is that you said all these really nice things about us, right? You went on and praised us at great length. Well, the reason isn't that we're greater than you, as you were saying, but the reason is that you're just trying to help others by saying people need to respect the brahmanas. People need to respect, here it says the twice born, right? People need to respect those people who embody good qualities. And this was all your way of kind of like highlighting that. That's what was really happening here. And there's a nice commentary on this.
In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated by the Lord himself that the acts and character of great authorities are followed by people in general. Got that verse? Kaustubha hot seat.
Oh, man. What is it?
Stumping
Kaustubha.
Kaustubha.
A complete blank, but it's such a famous one.
Yad yad acharati shreshtas tatarivataro janaha. Right?
Whatever activities a great person performs, common people will follow.
Yes. The acts and character of great authorities are followed by the people in general. Leaders of ideal character are therefore needed in society. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, appeared in this millennium, in this material world, just to show examples of perfect authority, and people have to follow his path. The Vedic injunction is that one cannot understand the absolute truth simply by mental speculation or logical argument. One has to follow the authorities. Mahajano yena gata sapanta. Great authorities should be followed. Otherwise, if we simply depend on scriptures, we are sometimes misled by rascals, or else we cannot understand or follow the different spiritual injunctions. The best path is to follow the great authorities. The four Brahmanas, sages, stated that Krishna is naturally the protector of the cows and the Brahmanas. Go Brahmana Hatayacha. When Krishna was on this planet, he set a practical example. He was a cowherd boy, and he was very respectful to the Brahmanas and devotees. It's also confirmed herein that the Brahmanas are the best of the twice-born. The Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and the Vaishyas are all twice-born, but the Brahmanas are the best. When there is a competition, when there is a fight between two persons, each of them protects the upper part of his body, the head, the arms. Now, Prabhupada's getting into some boxing and some mixed martial arts.
The boxing metaphors.
Analogies.
Yeah.
When there's a fight between the two persons, each of them protect the upper part of the body, the head, the arms, the belly. Similarly, for the actual advancement of human civilization, the best part of the social body, namely the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas, the intelligent class of men, the military class, and the mercantile class, should be given special protection. Protection of the laborers should not be neglected, but special protection should be given to the upper orders of all classes. And the Vaishnavas should be given special protection. They should be worshipped. When their protection is performed, it is just like worshiping God. That is not exactly That is not exactly protection. It is duty. One should worship the Brahmanas and the Vaishnavas by offering them all kinds of endowments and sweet words. And if one has no means to offer anything, he must at least use sweet words to pacify them. The Lord personally exhibited this behavior towards the Kumaras. Okay, Kaustubha, how does this sound not like an extreme class system? Like, explain why this isn't just classist.
Well, we went into this,
and
yeah, we went to it, a couple of days ago. But the point is it has to do with who's demonstrating, admirable qualities, valuable qualities, And so the Brahman is the person that's really living that. We need people in society that live simply, that are very kind and very learned and very wise. Otherwise, we do stupid stuff all the time. Look at our situation right now. It's like we're destroying the earth, right? And there's no, and it's like we can't stop or turn around. There's no, you take the United States, for example, right? You have a nation where we elect the leaders, but none of the people want to elect someone who's going to tell us what we actually need to do to survive, right? Like, we got to stop driving these cars so much. We got to stop killing all these innocent animals. That's what's creating all our diseases.
Wasn't it weird when the pandemic started and we shut everything down? We shut all these polluting factories, and all of a sudden everything became clean. And, like the rivers are, for the first time ever in New Delhi, you could see the Himalayas. It was like these revelations. Like, you could see the water became crystal clear in some parts of the world. We figured it out. You got to shut down, but we won't do it. But we're not going to do it. We're not going to shut down these polluting corporations because there's too much resources to be lost. Our economy is built on them.
And it's like the people in general, we're too lost. We're too convinced that we need all these things to be happy. We need cars to be happy. We've created, every time something new is created, generated, invented, we think, oh, this is going to make our life better. And they keep adding up. And they keep screwing everything up, So it's like, and it's just moving in this direction. So it's like we're sucking all the oil out of the earth. It's going to run out at a certain point, We all work far away from where we live, and we have to drive in these cars. We get one person, and they get in this, and I'm not saying this to like blame any individual. We're all stuck in this system now.
Are you
But
blaming me for losing oil?
for your big truck and you're wanting to
big
buy new
truck.
cars.
I want to get the Cybertruck.
Yeah, I'll be happy then, right?
I'll be
But
happy in my Cybertruck.
That's where we are. That we've lost touch with the truth. That we don't need all of this to be happy. We could live simply. The earth provides what we need. So brahmanas are people that have that wisdom, that are willing to live the simple lifestyle, and speak and have deep realizations on this. And without that, society gets lost. So what Prabhupada is saying here is we have to honor those people. We have to respect them. We have to protect them. We need to give them a voice. We need to recognize how valuable what they're saying is. Otherwise, we're lost. And so, is that a class system? No. Whoever can speak
Anybody
that
can be
truth.
that. You just got to be that.
Whoever can embody that wisdom and live that wisdom will honor. It doesn't matter where they're born or with their family or any other external consideration is not important. It's the qualities.
Yeah, if you want to climb to the top of that class system, all you have to do is imbibe truth, live truth, and give up everything. You have to give up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can have it all. You just have to take these vows of poverty where you're not dependent on money as your source of joy, and you have to really just start to downsize everything to the bare minimum, and then you can be a little bit more objective. And so it's accessible to all. Doesn't matter what your birth is, but who wants to do that?
Not
Someone
too
with
many
a
people.
taste for the joy of renunciation.
But can we even recognize the value in that person? It's like, or do we think that person's like a loser, or they're
He's
hopelessly,
a loser, he's broke,
some kind of like, ridiculously like impractical or something like that. Again, if a politician stood up and said, you know what we got to do? We're going to raise the price of gasoline like $10 a gallon, because if we don't, we're never going to break this addiction that we have to like try. Who's going to elect that person? Right. If someone if someone stepped forward and said, you know what, the reason why we're getting all these global pandemics is because we have these massive factory farms, which are just like incredibly cruel, and just horrible institutions. We need to stop this. We need to put an end to it. Are we going to elect that person? Are we capable of even not just running down the road of our own self-destruction? And willing to hear wisdom. We're not so well. And so therefore, what Prabhupada is saying is we need to recognize these wise people, and we need to listen to them. We need to revere them in a particular way. But it should be based on
going to happen.
quality.
Something's going to give. Something's going to crack.
Yeah. Well,
and
that's the way it
Bhagavatam's
works.
Gonna rise.
There's first class intelligence, second, third, right? Like first class intelligence means we hear wisdom and we follow it, right?
Yeah.
And then the lower class, it means like you have to begin to experience the results of it. Have we learned the lesson from the pandemic? Have we? I don't know if we have yet.
Teach on Zoom? Is that the lesson? Is that the overarching lesson?
Or are we just trying to get it over with as quick as possible and go right back
to
where
our
we were?
nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah. So we need. It's exactly that point. Like within society, there should be people right now. They should have platforms, they should have platforms to reach the masses where they're sharing, this is why we're going through what we did, and this is the lesson that we're meant to take from it, and that person needs to be able to have the influence they need to be able to influence the rulers. The rulers have to be like, well, I'm sorry, I'm never going to be elected if I follow what you're saying right now. The rulers have to be able to say, okay, everybody, we're all on board with this, right? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this quoted in this commentary that you just read was a very famous line in the Sanskrit. You read it, Mahajano yena gata sapantaha. Right.
Yeah.
So
there are great
Mahajana
authorities in the Vedic. The Mahajans, the great Janas, the great people.
The great people, the great souls, right? So this, who spoke that line? Mahajano yena gata sapantaha.
Krishna spoke it, right?
No.
You got to quote that.
Think, Raghu, think.
I thought Krishna spoke it.
You could try it again, but it's not going to work. Was there Krishna?
If I say Krishna in a different way, will it be right?
No, we spoke about
Gotta quote the
Yudhishthira.
It's about quoting the authorities.
About
Prahlad?
following.
No, Prahlad's one of them.
No, Yudhishthira.
Oh, Yudhishthira spoke it.
Yudhishthira spoke in the Mahabharata. Do you remember when, the setting?
It was. They were trying to decide. There was some like misunderstanding of like Dharma, and he said, "Well, Dharma can be understood
There was
by
a question
understanding
placed-
the Mahajans."
There was a question placed to him. What is the path? It was a very vague. It sounds vague, right? The Yaksha.
The
Is that what
Yaksha,
you're
the
looking
Yaksha Pragya. There's part of the Mahabharata where this sort of higher being comes and says, "I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill all your brothers, and I'm going to kill you if you drink water out of this lake." And they all drank water out of this lake, and they all died except Yudhishthira. And he said,
Right.
"Yudhishthira, I've killed everybody. Now I'm going to kill you, unless you can answer these questions. If you get them right,
He said
they all get their life back." And so it was a bunch of riddles. If you like riddles, it's like my kids like riddles. It's a bunch of riddles, and if you can get them, and so it was like this riddle answer, back and forth, like 100 riddles. So this was one of the riddles.
It's an amazing, it's amazing section, right? What happened? It's heart wrenching, the whole
Gotta
story.
Google search that. I think it's called.
Google
You
search.
talk.
what?
I'm going to put that on the board.
Okay.
Yaksha
But,
Pragya, I think it's called.
This happened when I think it's the Yaksha Prashna.
Oh, yuck.
But the Pandavas were in exile out in the forest, right? And they were suffering. They were really like extreme thirst, like almost dying of thirst. That can happen when you're wandering out there, I suppose, right? And they were each lamenting how they got there, and they were each taking personal responsibility for it. Like Bhishma was saying, why we're here, it's my fault. That when Dushasana dragged Draupadi into that arena, I should have killed him right then, and that's why we're stuck here in this position. And Arjuna said something similar. I think he also said, when Karna spoke those horrible words, insulting words to Draupadi, and I tolerated it, I didn't do anything about it, I didn't take him out right then, that's why we're here. And then
Mara made a similar vow today when Kaustubha criticized Raghunath's nugget. At that moment,
I'm taking him out. I didn't criticize the nugget.
Tackles Kaustubha.
I just wasn't thrilled with the nugget. That doesn't mean I was saying it was bad or anything. And so then it was either Nakula or Sahadev said, you know what? When Shakuni, who was the one that was rolling the dice in cheating, as soon as he broke out those crooked dice, I should have killed him right on the spot. That's why we're stuck here, And
by the way, we highly recommend reading the Mahabharata if you haven't read it. Great summer read that you will read forever after. Get it on Audible. The best translation that we love is Krishna Dharmas, the Mahabharata. Mara, put that on the board, please.
Although, Krishna Dharma's version of that Yaksha Prashna is really
Not great.
abbreviated.
Well,
I'm not saying it's not great, but it's like it's really cut down very small, because it's many questions, and he shrinks it right down. But when Yudhishthira's brothers all were owning it, he felt in himself a sense of he smiled, and because he felt it was his responsibility that they were all there, right? It was really on him, but all his brothers were saying is on me. But then he said, you know what? This is not the time for us to, look backwards. Let's look forwards. And the fact is, we're all dying of thirst right now. And he asked Nakula to climb to the top of a tree and look and see if there's any water nearby. And so he saw a lake. He climbed up to the top of a tree and said, oh, there's a lake. Everyone's like, oh, great. And he said, Nakula, please, right now, go to that lake and bring water back for us all. And when Nakula got to that lake, he said, oh, perfect, we got it. And the first thing he was going to do was drink some water for himself. And then he heard this voice, right? And that was the voice of the Yaksha, which is like a crane, right? In the form of a crane. And it said, anyone that drinks from this water without answering my questions will die. And like warriors, they're not like, they don't respond well to those kind of like, they don't submit to those kind of challenges. Like, you
Yeah,
know what?
yeah.
No, I drink where I drink. And if you want to do something about it, go ahead, step up. So he drank, he died. And when he didn't return, then the next brother went, and then the next, and the same thing happened to them all. So they were all lying there on the bank there. Then Yudhishthira went and found that lake, and then he saw his brothers there, and of course he was shocked. And at the same time, he still needed water because he was so thirsty. He went to drink, and then that he heard the same voice and the same message. And but Yudhishthira, he was a warrior, but he also had that Brahminical nature, that nature of the wise man. He really embodied that. So he didn't feel personally insulted when he didn't feel like personally challenged when it said like, you have to answer my questions. Everyone else is like, I don't have to answer anyone's questions, right?
Yeah.
He didn't have any of that sense of warrior ego like that. So when he heard those questions, he said, okay, place your questions. And the questions are fascinating, and they're like very cryptic, and he was giving these brilliant answers. Now, I pulled up the last 4 questions and the last 4 answers. All
What
right?
was did you see the link I put up on the board? The
I did.
mathisantrust.org papers.
Okay, you can find it there.
Yes. I also pulled up a Wikipedia quote.
Okay, great.
Wikipedia.
So-
Okay.
Thank you for doing that research.
Well, thank you.
And so-
I'm vying for Mara's job myself. I take her down.
You don't take her down. So here's the last 4 questions. Okay, the 4 questions are: who is truly happy? What is most wonderful? Wonderful here meaning like, not like great, but like what causes the most wonder, right? Like,
Yeah. Fantastic.
yeah, or well, even when we say
Unbelievable.
fantastic, we think of something
Unbelievable.
great. Yeah, hard to
Unbelievable.
believe. You could say
Hard to
yeah.
believe.
Incredible. Yeah. And then what is the news? And then
think I
what
got
is the
the-
path? Think you got that one? What is the
I think
news?
I got the news that song Shelter wrote from
Okay.
this.
Oh,
The
interesting.
news. What is
So
the news?
what do you say? Who is truly happy? Right? Who is truly happy? So, what do you answer when someone says that? So here was Yudhishthira's answer. Do you know the answer? Raghun? Do you know Yudhishthira's answer?
The
Who is
fool.
truly happy?
Is it the
No.
fool and the wise man?
No.
The
It's a very
self-enlightened
interesting
being?
You're not even close.
Oh, who is truly happy? The Atma.
Okay, I'm just gonna give it to you.
Just
You're
tell
just
me.
guessing.
Why play
says-
20 questions with an idiot?
No, not it. But he says one who cooks in their own house, even with scanty vegetables.
Mara
But
out of
who-
business right now.
Now let's just hear it out, Raghunath. Okay, one who cooks in their own house, even with scanty vegetables, but who is not in debt, and who stirreth not from the home, is truly happy.
And does what? Not from the home?
Stirreth not.
Stirreth?
Who doesn't stirreth not? Who, in other words, who doesn't leave home? Who can? I guess who is not forced to wander, right? But it's saying that if we can be the person that's living simply is happy. That's how I understand this, right? I cook in my own home. I may not have a lot, but I have what I need, right? And I'm not in debt, right? I've accepted that. I've accepted that I'll live simply, right? When we go into debt, when we're saying like I don't have enough, and even though I'm living beyond my means, we go into debt, right? And we're living beyond our means when we think I need more than my means to be happy. So one who cooks in their own house, even with scanty vegetables, I don't have a lot, right? But who's not in debt, that person's happy. So I understand that meaning one who's willing to live simply is the happy person, right? And those that are thinking I need more to be happy, they'll never be happy. It's a very interesting answer, right?
Pretty interesting. What else you got?
Okay. What is most wonderful?
What is
Most incredible?
Is that the one about death? Death comes at any moment. The most fantastic thing.
It's something like that, yeah.
Okay,
Right?
you tell.
Day after day. Now think about this. What's the most? If you just had to think, what's the most amazing thing in the world, right? How can it be, right? Day after day, countless creatures are going to the abode of death. Right?
Everybody's
It's
dying.
everywhere.
Every day.
Everybody's
Every day.
dying.
Something's
Every
dying.
day. Yeah. Yet those who remain behind believe themselves to be immortal. What can be more wonderful than this?
Yeah. Even when someone like we know dies, we're like, for a moment, we get this like, oh my God, life is temporary. We can die. That could have been me. And then at the next moment, we're back into Maya, back into illusion, as if nothing ever happened. Everything is dying all day long. All you got to do
And
is
the gravity
examine
of it.
nature.
Yeah.
Birds
Yeah.
are eating
And the
things.
gravity. Yeah. No, go ahead. Birds are eating things. Yeah.
Birds are eating
Other
things.
examples.
Bugs are eating other bugs. Birds are eating other little things. It's just like sit in nature. It's like a whole. It's just like a death show going on. Frogs are
I saw
dying.
something on that. I saw I saw something on that Instagram thing that you
Frogs
recommended.
are dying, man.
Metal.
Nature
What
is
is
metal.
that metal?
You want to
Nature-
get sobered
I
up about
saw-
the realities of life? Subscribe
brutal.
to at Nature is Metal
Okay.
on Instagram. Mara,
So-
are you on that yet? Today, Mara,
She doesn't
join
feel
me.
the need. But I saw one snake eating another snake. Did you see that one?
I saw that one.
It was just taking it in, just slowly eating the other snake. Like, it's brutal out there, right? So, day after day, countless creatures are going to the abode of Yama, going to the abode of death.
Oh.
Yet those that remain behind believe themselves to be immortal. The gravity of our situation, we live like oblivious to it, right? We're not thinking, I need to be preparing for this, right? That I'm
Right.
just like every other living being and my death could be a moment away. And meanwhile, I'm engaged in all kind of frivolity. Right?
Frivolity. Exactly.
Frivolity, I like that word.
Like frivolity.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's incredible. He found that to be amazing. It's like that we don't get the message. The whole universe is giving us this very clear message and none of us are getting it. That's incredible. Right. Okay.
All right.
Next one. What is the news?
What is the news? What is the news?
Well, you wrote a song about it. I thought you said you got
The
it from
good
this.
news. What is the good news, Kaustubha? Tell me.
Not the good news, but just the news.
All right. What is the news?
He says this is going to sound a little dark too, right? But he says the world full of ignorance is like a pan. The sun is the fire. The days and nights are the fuel.
Ooh.
This is interesting, right? The world is like a pan. The sun is the fire. The days and nights are fueling that fire, right? The months and seasons constitute the wooden ladle. They're stirring it up. Time is the cook that is cooking all creatures in that pan. This is the news. That was his answer.
How did he get that answer right?
The Yaksha was so impressed by these answers. He said, I'm exceedingly pleased with your answers, right? That's what we need to know, right? That's the news. The news is supposed to be like, here's the information that everybody needs to get, right?
That's not
And
that's not the headline on CNN today, by the way.
Yeah. Right.
Today,
in one
the
sense it
news.
is, but like the purport is never there of it, right? Yes. In one sense it is the news, right? We're everybody's burning, right?
That is the
Yeah.
news, actually.
We're all being cooked by time, you know. Everything that's stable becomes unstable, you know. And whether it's our bodies, our nations, you know, our peace, you know, whatever it may be, it's all getting cooked, right? All right. And then the question, what is the path? And the answer to that was the verse that was quoted with the Mahajana Yen Gata Sapanta. It's a great verse. Yeah, I can read the Sanskrit. Should I read the Sanskrit?
Please.
Tarko pratishtaha shrutayo vibhina nashav rishir yasya matam nabhinam dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam. Very interesting. Mahajano yena gata sapanta. So the translation is, dry arguments are inconclusive. Think about this carefully, right? 'Cause
The
there's so
whole
much-
internet is dry arguments. It's
Oh my
one
God,
argument
right? The whole
after another
political
back and-
realm. the
Never
internet,
respond to somebody on Instagram. You'll never
do it.
change them.
Yeah. Yeah, dry arguments are inconclusive. A great personality whose opinion does not differ from others is not considered a great sage by the people in general. Right? We establish ourselves by tearing down the theories of others. Right? Simply by studying the Vedas, which are variegated, right? There's many messages for many people on many levels within the Vedas. So simply by studying the Vedas, which are variegated, one cannot come to the right path by which Dharma is understood. Well, then how the hell am I going to figure out what to do? What is the path?
You gave me this book. You recommend the book. You distributed the book to me. I purchased the book. Now what? Don't read the book.
So it said, no, it doesn't say don't read the book, but it says beyond that, the solid truth of Dharma, where are we going to find it? It's hidden in the heart of an unadulterated, self-realized person. Consequently, as the sacred texts confirm, one should accept and follow in the footsteps of whatever progressive path the great souls advocate. So it's like the way that I understand that. It says, Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam. Guha means?
Secret.
It's secret. It's hidden.
Cryptic.
Right? Yeah, Dharmasya. Dharma is hidden in the heart of these great souls. What is right and what is wrong? You know, how I should understand what is right and what is wrong. I'm going to learn that from people that have it in their heart. Even just reading these great books of wisdom isn't going to do it. Kind of gets back to what we're saying about the nugget, right? We can throw out these nuggets all the time, but we need a lifestyle. And what is that lifestyle? It's following in the footsteps of the great souls who have Dharma hidden in their heart. Because it's a fact, you know, like even if I know the truth, someone that's better at debating may come along and like make a fool of me, right? They'll take the very same book that I'm using and they'll quote it in different ways, and then they'll leave you. And then someone with greater intelligence than them and a better, you know, like a brain that's still more like dexterous in a sense, right? Like they just got a better computer that they're using. They're going to come and defeat that person, and then another person is coming to defeat that person. Well, what's the truth? Like, when do you know you've reached the truth?
Dry arguments are inconclusive.
Dry arguments are inconclusive, right? The way that we know the path to follow is by looking at those great souls who embody these qualities, who have found their happiness living simply, right? Who always demonstrate compassion, kindness, etc., and who themselves are experiencing Atma Suprasiddhiti, you know, that deep happiness of the soul. And then see how they interpret these books. Hear from them, right? Follow the path that they lay out. And that's our path to truth. That's why Vishnu is glorified. What the four Kumars are saying here is, that's why you're glorifying the Brahmanas. So people will recognize the great souls and have an idea of what path to follow. All right. Tomorrow's the big Friday 500.
Friday 500. Come on, everybody. Bring your headphones on. We're going to call you up. We're going to tell your story. We're going to burn through this. No fooling around. Mara, do you have any nuggets for us? Any nugget? Give me something to take away today that I can bring with me and apply to my crazy life. Give me some solid truth here. What do you got?
A nugget without sadhana is an empty nugget.
Yeah, who wants an empty nugget?
Pretty good.
That was a powerful. Yeah.
I like live your nugget.
Live your nugget's good too.
Live your nugget.
Protect and honor the brahmanas that live and embody wisdom along.
Yeah.
No, but that's good. I'm not worried about whether they're long or not. I just want like some solid.
Yeah. Downsize everything for an objective view.
Oh, that's a great T-shirt. Not.
Our nonsense got us here. We need wise people to lead us out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Let's see. Live simply to be happy.
Okay. Yeah.
Short one.
All right, short.
Homebodies are the happiest.
Yeah. We need a nugget lifestyle.
We need a nugget lifestyle. Nature is a death trap.
Oh.
That's a great shirt.
Frogs are dying.
And
Frogs are dying. There we go. Frogs are dying everywhere. And no one cares.
We live as if they're not.
We live as if they're not. And the frogs do too. They're like, I'm going to live forever. No, frog, you're not. The lawnmower of death is coming. The snake of death is coming. Yeah. Welcome to the world of lawn mowing. It's not pretty. Thanks everybody for joining us. Tomorrow, Friday 500. Can't believe it, our 500th episode. Join us, and we're going to hear everybody tell their story. It's going to be a unique show tomorrow. It's going to be filled with festive joy and dancing around and mayhem and various snacks and hors d'oeuvres. We're really looking forward to this. Today there's a Bhakti recovery meeting at noon. According to Nancy R., who's now giving up her whole name. And the other thing, and Tina Scheid, the lovely Tina Scheid, is giving a yoga class at 6:30 this morning. Like in 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Great. What about Sweet Baby Krishna? Is that happening?
Sweet Baby Krishna is on hold because I'm teaching in Saratoga tonight. If you live in the Capital District area.
Oh, I got an announcement. Tonight at the Bhakti Center.
Check out Bhakti
That's
Justice
cool,
Harry
but
Bowl shirt. Okay.
that's fine, but I got an announcement. Tonight at the Bhakti Center, Thursday night Kirtan, Genevieve Harrison's going to be there. Gauravani's going to be there right here.
Alrighty.
Be a smoking night at the Bhakti Center. Come by, say hello. I'll be there.
All right. All the stars are out. In the meantime, check out the Swasti Harry Bowl Thrasher shirt.